Welcome to Module 1, Section 1.2 of our Data Management Overview. We're going to be looking at core functions, activities, and environmental factors around the DAMA body of knowledge and CDMP. To become a certified data management professional, you have to have a wide variety of exposure and knowledge in the 10 different areas that make up the CDMP. The primary resource we'll be using throughout the course is the DAMA, Data Management Association, Guide to the Data Management Body of Knowledge. We're in the first edition, which was published in 2009. The next edition will be coming out shortly. This is pretty much the practitioner's guide to data management. The first topic we'll be covering will be data governance. Data governance, you'll notice, is at the center of this wheel. And we discover as we go through this that there are data management activities and roles and responsibilities associated with each one of the other segments of the wheel. It literally infuses itself in every aspect of data management. The next area in the DMBOK wheel at the top is data architecture management. By and large, this is going to align very closely with enterprise architecture, but we'll be discussing specific architectures as we go through each of the areas as well in data warehousing, reference and master data. Each one of those is a segment of data architectures. In the data development section, we'll be talking about data modeling, about gathering and analyzing requirements around data structures, talking about business rules, talking about all the things that go into making a quality data model from a given set of business rules and requirements. In data operations, we'll be talking about the ongoing maintenance and care of data through its entire life cycle, the creation of data, databases, creation of indexes, tuning, and other performance-related aspects of managing data. In the data security module, we'll be talking about all things related to the security and care, taking care of privacy and access requirements for databases and files. As you know, this is a really hot topic in today's world where hackers are everywhere and they're always after your stuff. Reference and master data management have to do with modernizing systems where instead of having multiple copies of the same data, you consolidate and come up with a single version of the truth. For each of the main subject areas. We'll be talking also about reference data, and those are literally sets of codes and valid value lists that have meaning and restrict data when it's being entered to only those values that the business sees as valid values. Data warehousing and business intelligence we're going to see has to do with taking historical data and turning it into meaningful and useful information for both how the structures hang together for those and how you come up with business intelligence, that is, using your data in an intelligent manner. Document and content management used to be known as records management, but as we get into the proliferation of different data that we want to store electronically, those would be videos, other kinds of file-based data that doesn't necessarily fit well into a relational database. We want to be able to store those, retrieve those, and have a taxonomy around those that allows us to search and retrieve in a meaningful way. With metadata management, we're talking literally about the data that describes the data in our systems. So for a given table, we may need to know what the source of that table is. If we're talking from an ETL perspective and extract, transform, and load, we might need to know for each attribute of a specific table what are the data types and the constraints on each column within that table. Operational metadata also has to do with, for an extract, transform, and load operation, we may need to know the number of records we attempted to move, the number of errors that occurred, the number of records that actually made it. So we keep data about data, and we need to manage that data carefully to make sure that when we are transforming data or moving data from one place to another, that all those things succeed correctly. In the data quality management section, we're going to see this dovetails very closely with data governance. It has to do with the old adage of garbage in, garbage out. So the question is then, how do we keep the garbage out? And in front of that, if garbage does get in, how do we cleanse that? How do we make this data go from a state of not being suitable for use in the business to suitable? So data quality management is an up-and-coming discipline that people are paying more and more attention to. And lastly, we'll see that we are also going to pay attention to environmental factors that affect data management. And these include organization and culture and how that ties in. We have activities, deliverables. We need to identify the roles and responsibilities of the actors within the data management arena, practices and techniques, and of course, technology.